Good evening, guys. You are very welcome to the Liverpool FC Journal with me, Owen James, and this is your Liverpool news update, guys. Obviously, coming off the back of an excellent performance tonight away in the south of France. Liverpool winning 3-0 at the Stade Velodrome. I've got to say, I didn't really expect it to be as comfortable as that was in the end for Liverpool. Look, I'll be honest with you, as I said on the video this morning, going into the game against Marseille, against an attacking team in Marseille, going into the game in a cauldron atmosphere like the Velodrome did turn out to be, Liverpool were very, very good tonight. They were very good tonight. And look, we've criticised Arne Slot, and rightly so, for some of the performances of recent times, but got to say that Slot got his tactics spot on tonight, so he does deserve credit coming out of tonight's game. Look, I will be open and honest with you. Yes, I've said the manager should go. Yes, I've said, raise questions, and I'd love him to prove me wrong. I'd love him to turn it round. Of course I would. Look, sacking a manager terrifies the living daylights out of me because, you sack a manager, you never know what you're going to get. There is a risk in any appointment. And sometimes better the devil you know. But look, we'll obviously, keep on looking at that as we go on. But look, tonight, it's not about talking about Arne Slot's future. It's not about talking about Xabi Alonso. It's talking about tonight's performance. And I thought Liverpool got their tactics absolutely spot on tonight. Really solid in defence, really difficult to play through. The team that was selected, obviously, I think was absolutely spot on from Arne. Pretty much what I actually picked this morning. Not that I'm taking any credit. I didn't ring Arne a lot and take, obviously tell Arne what to pick. But I thought Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch were absolutely excellent in front of that back four. I thought Joe Gomez deserves an absolute massive amount of credit for his performance tonight. But the midfield did very well. Mo Salah, very good on his return from Africa Cup of Nations, and on any other day could have actually scored 2 or 3 goals. The header that went wide, the shot where he hits it with the inside middle. I don't know what he hit it with, but he hit it with his left foot, and it goes wide of the target. On another day, Salah could have 2 or 3 goals. Hugo Ekitike, I thought, was absolutely excellent tonight. His movement was first class, and the interesting swap and change of tactics from Slot tonight was interesting to watch, with Wirtz and Szoboszlai kind of like false nines and Ekitike working from the left. I thought was exceptionally interesting and certainly stretched and confused the Marseille defence. So on the whole, I've got to say, very, very impressed with what we saw. As always, this man I thought was absolutely outstanding tonight. Got the opening goal from a free kick. I've got to say, when we got that free kick, I was fully expecting Mo Salah to step up and hit it left-footed. But Dominic Szoboszlai, very, very clever, under the wall, gets the goal to take Liverpool into the break with a 1-0 lead, and a thoroughly deserved 1-0 lead. And there was also chances where, the one, I think that Ekitike hits the post, a beautifully weighted ball in by Szoboszlai for that one. I think, Sobo was absolutely excellent again tonight, and certainly, back to his very, very best, and a real high-quality performance from the Hungarian all across the field. Jeremy Frimpong as well, I thought, deserves a very special mention tonight. He really was the Energizer Bunny. He was the guy who really worked that right-hand side. And I think we're kind of seeing now why Liverpool paid the money they did and why they saw him and kind of brought him in as that replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Not, obviously, a direct replacement for Trent. He's not the same player as Trent. It's his energy, his ability to get up and back, and I think the overlapping runs with Salah. I think Salah actually plays better when he's got Jeremy Frimpong behind him. Nothing against Conor Bradley, who's obviously out injured, but I think Frimpong and Salah link a lot better than Salah and Bradley. I think Salah, knowing that he's got Frimpong there who can do his running for him, who can bring energy, can stretch the defence and cause issues there and make gaps for Salah, because teams are very aware of the pace this man has. The goal was all about his desire to get there, his desire to keep on working, his desire to keep on fighting, and he obviously pulls the ball across and it goes in, obviously luckily off the goalkeeper, but they wouldn't get that second goal if it hadn't been for his hard work, his skill and his dynamism to get up and back, and I thought he did that right across the game tonight. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Obviously, no Ibrahima Konate tonight. Obviously, he is in France for family reasons. I thought that Joe Gomez was brilliant tonight. He played very, very well. I mean, obviously, we all had our fingers crossed, our hands in prayer. Every emotion you would have known, praying to every god you've ever heard of, probably, that he got through the game unscathed, and he certainly did that tonight. And was, I thought he was excellent, very composed, did everything he had to do, played brilliantly. Again up against a tricky Marseille attack. Obviously, Mason Greenwood. didn't obviously have as big an effect as I think a lot of people thought he would. And Aubameyang, who came off the bench, didn't have as big an effect as people thought he could have done. But overall, you've got to really pay comps to Joe Gomez for his work tonight as well. Virgil, I thought, was very good as well. Games, Ali. I think people have criticised him for Burnley's goal. People have said that, he should have done better with Burnley's goal on Saturday, but I thought tonight he was back to his imperious best. Some fantastic saves in that game. There was one, I can't remember, was it Greenwood who hit it or someone hit it, and it jumps and bounces and dips just in front of him, but he gets across and shoves it away. There was a save near the end where he stands up big and tall and shoves it wide. I thought he was absolutely fantastic tonight. Brilliant saves from Alisson at times, but that's what you pay for. That's why you have this man in your team, because even in his advancing years, and yes, perhaps he isn't the same player that he was when we bought him, he still is a fantastic goalkeeper, and he still gives you that added advantage, at the back. Quality play from the big Brazilian again tonight. Look, overall tonight, a very, very solid performance. Cody Gakpo gets the third goal, a clinical finish by Cody. I've got to say the manager got it right tonight, and look, I'll criticise him when he gets it wrong. I'll criticise him, when he doesn't change things, but I thought he got his substitutions right tonight. I thought as well. First half, I thought Liverpool were still a little bit slow on the ball, still a little bit slow to move the ball, still didn't perhaps use the urgency they should have done. But second half, they brought a lot more urgency, they brought a lot more quickness of passing, a lot more tempo to the game, pressed higher and harder. So whatever Slot did at half-time, in comparison to other games, actually made a big difference. So, like I said, you've got to give him credit tonight. Look, I'm not saying all is forgiven. I'm not saying, whatever, give the man a new contract. What I'm saying is that he got it right tonight, that he did well tonight, that whatever he said to them, however he set them up, and the way that he set them up tactically tonight to counter Marseille's pace, counter Marseille's threat, counter Marseille's shape, worked tonight. And that's a big thing. That is a very, very big thing. It is in Liverpool's own hands. This is the Champions League table going into match day 8. So there is one Liverpool game remaining. Liverpool face Qarabag, who actually won tonight at Anfield. So, let's not underestimate Qarabag. Let's not say that this is done and dusted by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, Arsenal unfortunately do sit top. Credit to them, the good performance, beating Inter last night. Bayern second, Madrid third on 15. Liverpool now up to 4th on 15. Spurs 5th on 14. PSG 6th on 13. Newcastle 7th on 13 and Chelsea 8th on 13. It's certainly looking very healthy for the English teams. It is in Liverpool's own hands. A win in the last game, and Liverpool will ensure they finish in that top 8 and avoid those extra games, which obviously is key. Now, if you look at that little group behind them, Barca, Sporting, Man City, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta can all finish on 16 points, so theoretically could push up and push Liverpool out of that top part if they all win. Inter and Juventus as well, still a possibility, could get to 15 points as well. So look, it's all to play for still, but what is the really positive thing is that it is all in Liverpool's own hands. It is down to them now. At the end of the day, Liverpool win that game against Qarabag, the final game obviously at home, and they will progress in that last day. And that's what I think we all want. That's what the club will want. That's what is better for the players. They avoid those 2 extra games, and it puts them in a position then to obviously keep on going in this Champions League. But overall, a much more positive night for Liverpool Football Club. 13 unbeaten. And it just felt a little better tonight, which is good. And it's so nice to actually sit here and talk positively about what is going on, rather than having that negative undertone that's been, I think, across a lot of videos just recently. Right, guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on the team. Love to know your thoughts on the performance tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching the Liverpool FC Journal. I'll catch you on the next one.